Good day and welcome to another A Week at the Plot, and to the first bit of disappointment this week. So you may remember, if you watched last week, that I planted up some lettuce in this bed last week, and there's one of them. There's another one. Is that another one? Yep, that's another one there, look. So I think it's fair to say, because they've been eaten over there as well, that Polyfrog is now Grumpy Frog. So when I came in here the morning after planting up these lettuce, Polyfrog was over here and two large snails were next to him. Maybe they were too big for him, but I think Polyfrog is now Grumpy Frog because I took out his little lettuce that was here, which he was sort of hiding under, hoping that this would be enough for him to stay under. But no, I think he decided that I needed to be taught a lesson on amphibian homes and that they should not be messed with. So of the 10 or 11 lettuce that I put in here, all 10 or 11 have been munched on. Oh, and look, there's Grumpy Frog there. Can you see him? That's where he is. He's looking at me saying, "I'm Grumpy Frog because you messed up my lettuce home." So he's wedged himself in there. Was here earlier, as I say. But hey ho, I mean, that's how things go. Interestingly, this self-seeded lettuce, this self-seeded lettuce, this self-seeded Mizuna, this self-seeded lettuce here, and this self-seeded lettuce here. I think there's one or two others as well. They haven't been munched on by frogs. Oh look, he's getting brave now. Look, he's coming out. He's coming out to show his disdain. I mean, you've got to laugh. You've got to laugh. If we were relying on this for our lettuce and we couldn't pop to Lidl and buy one, I think I wouldn't be laughing quite as much, but hey ho, c'est la vie. We do still have these four, which I didn't plant, but what I've decided to do is, this is the lettuce in here, not sure if you can see in there, is the lettuce seed that we were harvesting. And what I've decided to do, taking you full circle, is just rough up the top of the soil and just scatter some seeds on top. And maybe they can therefore act as volunteer, because it certainly seems as though volunteer lettuce seeds are surviving slugs and snails that Grumpy Frog's not eating. I think I'm going to have to get Skanky Frog to come and give a chat to Grumpy Polyfrog, because as I was coming in a short while ago, Skanky Water Frog was having a good munch down on a slug. Right, I'm just going to rough up the surface of the compost a bit and then scatter some non-winnowed lettuce seeds. So I'm just going to rough up the surface. Most will be sensible to do this with gloves, but I'm not. Hello Froggy. Seems quite happy to be in my presence. Look at him just there, just sort of happily there. And then I'm just scattering some of the seed which hasn't been winnowed, that we harvested from the lettuce that was in the poly last week, the lettuce head we harvested, and I'm just gonna tickle the surface a bit. Right, that's a weed there, that can come out. That's a weed there, but yeah, that's definitely a volunteer lettuce, and that one is. Now I'm just going to give that a quick water. I'm going to give it a quick water, Mr. Grumpy Polyfrog. I have to duck your head out the way. Oh no, he's out. Yeah. How are you squeezing in that gap? Honestly. I think I've just had what equates to an amphibian apology, which is when I was doing some work here, I was bended down on one knee, and Polyfrog jumped onto my other foot, onto my shoe, and sort of sat on my shoe for a few seconds and looked up at me, and I think there was an apology in his or her eyes before they jumped back onto the bed, and then is now at the back of the bed between the edge of the bed and the poly side. So I think Grumpy Polyfrog is back to being Polyfrog now after that apology. But you know what, it is so bizarre, and I know many of us have said this about volunteer seedlings and plants before. They seem to be so much more robust than those seeds that we care for and we nurture and we tender to seedlings and into little plants, and then we plant them out, and something that has grown completely wild and volunteered itself stands there sort of proud, and the ones that we've tended and cared for get munched on. I don't know, you know, it'd be good to do it would be good to do an experiment, maybe a highly scientific experiment at some point, about whether volunteer plants are actually stronger than plants that we nurture and plant out. I guess, I mean, there is this belief, isn't there, that plants put out when you transplant them, they put out something into the ether to say that they're basically, you know, they've been uprooted and they're trying to find themselves in this new patch of soil, which with volunteer seeds, volunteer seedlings, volunteer plants, of course they're just there, and they grow, and they, you know, they don't really need nurturing, a bit of watering every now and again. So maybe that something that plants give out when we transplant them give out a message to slugs and snails that actually they're vulnerable, you know. And it's a bit like society, isn't it? You know, vulnerable people often get left behind and get forgotten about, either on purpose or not. And maybe it's the same thing with our seedlings that we nurture. Maybe they are vulnerable, and the slugs and the snails sort of somehow sense that and go after them as the weaklings of a group. I don't know, but it would be worthwhile sort of finding out, really, doing a highly scientific experiment. I've got those four Marveille de Quatre, what's it? Marvel of Four Seasons, Marveille de Quatre Saisons seedlings to put out, plants they are at the moment. I'm going to put them outside. I'm not going to put them inside, even though I've got the apology from Polyfrog, and Polyfrog knows that he or she must eat those slugs and snails. I think I'm going to trust them in the raised bed out there. Who knows what tomorrow will bring. I don't know. Right, I have to say I'm feeling quite a bit better in the last few days than I was last week. Last week was a real struggle, and thank you all for your comments, your lovely comments. I did need to get down here and wanted to get down here and get jobs done, and I'm glad that I got done what I did. What this week will be like, I don't know. I am pacing myself. On Sunday, I did come down and do strimming, and I haven't raked that up yet, but I think I'll be doing that maybe after I've done this segment. Always jumping, or she's jumping. Polyfrog. It's easier to say polyfrog, isn't it? It's jumping by the peppers as if to say, right, I'm here. I'm guarding these peppers. That's what polyfrog is doing at the moment. Oh dear, honestly, that is growing and gardening and allotmenteering though. You know, you do all that nurturing, you put things in, you come back the next day and find them all eaten. So yeah, there we are. But yes, thank you all for your comments last week. I did appreciate it, and I do appreciate it. And let's see how we get on in this week of A Week at the Plot. I'm going to do some harvesting of the rock and core because we're going to have some of those this evening. Yeah, the bird de rock and core is really doing well this year for us. Really doing well, which is great. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I will see you again pretty soon, I think. Bye. Good day. I've just planted up these 4 Marveille of 4 Seasons lettuce, Marveille de Quatre Saisons, and hope that they're not going to be munched by slugs and snails. This bed I'm letting the squash ramble into, though I will sort of build a little frame around these so that these get protected if they need to be. We've got these 2 coming over now, so I'm going to train them sort of that way, if you see what I mean. And I won't let them go any further than the end of the bed, or at least over the bed there. I am wondering whether I sow some more seeds of Marveille of 4 Seasons in front of these 4. In fact, I think I am going to do that just as a direct sowing. Not that all of my direct sowing has been particularly fantastic this year. Let's look at some that I did a few weeks ago. This is our carrot and fennel bed, and there's a few carrots germinated here. I think I saw there's one coming up there, and then there's 2 fennel that have germinated together. But I think it's sort of like, you know, pretty hit and miss, which is, well, it's pretty hit and miss with the occasional hit. Maybe 9 carrots there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 actually, including this one here. So yeah, 9 carrots and 2 fennel. To be fair, I think that seed was a little bit old. But you know what? I've decided nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I'm going to do some more sowings here, and I'm going to do it with the same seed. So I've got some Lunar White actually, and I've got some Autumn King, both a seed from that I've had in a packet in the fridge for a while. So yeah, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I'm going to put some more rows in, I think most probably here. So I'm just going to get on and do that. I haven't marked up the rows, but that's 2 rows of Autumn King here and here, and then there's actually 3 rows of Lunar White. And I've been careful to avoid that one there. That was that number 9 of the germination from the Autumn King last time. So we'll see. As I say, it's old seed, so maybe not surprising that germination was pretty poor. I sowed the seed really thinly last time, hoping for good germination. As I know the seed didn't germinate well and is pretty old, I've sowed it much less thinly than last time. As I sit here looking out from the shed, I'm reminded that in a few weeks I'll be doing the judging for the Hamwell sunflower competition. So that's the tallest sunflower, the biggest sunflower head, and the nicest sunflower in a pot. And I think this one here on my neighbour's plot is in the running for tallest sunflower. I think it must be knocking about 10 or 11 foot at the moment. And having, you know, walked around the area, our local area, quite a bit, I haven't seen one taller. So I think that one is likely to be a winner. Though I have to say, my own sunflower here, which is self-seeded, really seems to be going for it now. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? A few more jobs done today, which is great. So that's those 4 Marveille de Quatre Saisons in this bed here. And I've also sown further seed into that bed. We'll see how it does. That's that seed packet gone. Thank you very much, Vivi. And then also resowing, a very, very late resowing. So I'm not really expecting anything to come of it, but a late resowing of Lunar White and Autumn King. And again, those seed packets are now empty. There are some seeds I've noticed stuck there. Look. So I think I might sow those in a little pot. I'll just sort of tear it like that, tear it like that, tear that down. It's my little sort of seed tape, if you see what I mean. So yeah, I think I'll do that in a pot before I go home. Right, put that on my lap to do. I'm going to leave it there for this segment and for this section of A Week at the Plot. So that's Tuesday and Wednesday downs. It's Wednesday afternoon now, and I have to say they did say it was going to get really quite warm at the back end of this week. At the moment it's feeling pretty warm out there. I do have things that I need to do back at my desk, so I'm going to go back home and do those now. Though before I do that, I think I'm going to give everything that I have sown yesterday and today another quick water. Anyway, let us know how you're doing and how your season is going. This one here is proving another challenging year, but you know what, the courgettes and the cucumbers, they are kicking their produce out, and the beans are too. In fact, that reminds me, I need to harvest some more rock and core, so I'm going to get on and do that after I've done the watering. I will see you very soon. However you're doing, whatever your temperature, I hope things are going well, and happy growing. Bye.